day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, it's a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast, and we've learned that quiet isn't always peace. And the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken but simply unfinished. We, the successors of a country in a time where a skinny black girl, descended from slaves and raised by a single mother, can dream of becoming president, only to find herself reciting from one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine, but that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that's perfect. We are striving to forge a union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so we can reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true. That even as we grieved, we grew. That even as we hurt, we hoped. That even as we tired, we tried, we will forever be tied together, victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Scripture tells us to envision that everyone should sit under their own vine and fig tree, and no one shall be afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, then victory won't lie in the blade, but in all the bridges we've made. That is the promise to glade, the hill we climb if only we dared. Because being American is more than a pride we inherit. It's the path we step into and how we repair it. We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it, that would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy. And this effort very nearly succeeded. But while democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated. In this truth, in this faith, we trust, for while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us. This is an era of just redemption. We created its inception. We did not know prepared to be the heirs to such a terrifying hour, but within it, we found the power to offer a new chapter, to offer hope and laughter to ourselves. So while once we asked, how can we possibly prevail over catastrophe? Now we assert, how can catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, move to what shall be. A country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free. We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and inertia will be the inheritance of the next generation. Our blunders become their burden. But one thing is certain. If we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy and can change our children's birthright. So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left. With every breath of my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous one. We will rise to the golden hills of the west. We will rise to the windswept northeast where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise to the lake-rimmed cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise to the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover in every known nook of our nation, in every corner called our country. Our people, diverse and beautiful, will emerge battered and beautiful. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it.